million people on a platform, knowing that there's all these people eating up what you're saying, and not consider that there's actually children that you're talking about that are real people.
They're people
that didn't ask to be born, and they didn't ask to be born with autism, and they didn't ask for that, and then to call them demonic and evil.
Yeah, they didn't ask to be born this way, so they don't deserve to be called demonic or evil. I mean, just go out and find some kids who did ask for this, because, well, they kind of have it coming.
Because nothing about their lives is easy. Like, everyone hates. I hate that people with autism are treated so poorly.
That was close.
And are so misunderstood and just chastised and cast out.
If he'd been small or sickly, he would have been discarded.
Only the strong can survive these YouTube streets.
I can't understand how a Christian would speak about someone that way. I thought that, like, Christians were supposed to be loving and kind and, like, do what Jesus wanted.
Huh. Okay, there's this one part of the Bible from Mark 11 where Jesus walks up to a fig tree, is so hungry and so angry that he walked up to this fig tree to discover that there's no fruit, that he then said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And the tree died. Yeah. Jesus was so hungry, he walked up to a tree, was pissed off that there was no food, and then he cursed it and the tree fucking died. That's Christ-like.
It's just so ableist to say that more faith and more believing more in God would somehow make this demon get out of this child.
Why would you pray to... Oh, wait. Okay. If God exists, or he makes people, then he kind of put the autism there, didn't he? I mean, why would you then pray to make him take it away? That's like going to the person who shot you and asking them to remove the bullet, right?
Why would you call a child with autism demonic? What about a child with autism is demonic? What is it? Because they don't sit perfectly on your blanket when you're hitting them, and they try to move off the blanket when you're spanking them? Are you going to just beat them more? Because I'm sure in these cultures and in these worlds, it's the kids that have the disabilities that are getting beat up the most because they're not compliant, because they don't know how to be.
See, this is all your fault. It's because of how you guys talk about kids with autism and other things. That's the reason why I sit around and I envision your home life like this. I envision what growing up in your homes must be like, especially for those with autism. This is what I'm imagining. It's your fault that I have to think of these things.
And I don't bring up my son because it's his business and it's his life and it's his privacy.
But if someone else brings him up, well, then I have to appease people, right? I have to then talk about him. I just don't bring him up.
But, like, dude, someone needs to speak up for these kids.
Here she comes to wreck the day!
We fight with insurance companies. We are constantly trying to get our kids accommodated in class. We have to deal with IEPs and...
Your landmines?
Because it's not fair how they're treated. It's not fair how insurance companies treat kids with autism. It's not fair how kids with chronic illness are treated by... Oh, man.
Because the only thing worse than calling these kids evil or demonic is how hard this makes my life.
I don't like crying. I don't cry very much.
These tears are totally real.
I just don't understand why people are so mean to people with autism. It just bothers me so much.
So much.
I know. Like, these kids with autism are the sweetest children you'll ever meet. Like,
they are beautiful creatures.
I hate how society acts like they're, like, horrible and they're mean and they're cruel.
They're so ferocious.
Hey, Terry, how about you just keep your opinions to yourself and let me vent without making this about you? And how about you just, like, listen without getting defensive and saying things like, don't throw an entire profession under the bus? What does this have to do with you, Terry? You could have just said, I understand. Like, where did I throw an entire profession under the bus? I'm sharing my frustrations. God, people are so insensitive and make everything about themselves. Like, that's another thing that drives me crazy about online. You can't even share without people being so selfish that they literally make everything about themselves when someone's literally just sharing their frustration. When you say shit like that, it's like people don't want to open up. Why would I share anymore if I can't even honestly express how I feel sometimes, where this is how I'm feeling? Relating is not telling someone that you're a terrible person and you're throwing all the teachers under the bus. Like, dude, I know that there's good teachers out there. And it doesn't change the fact that, oh, you have a nephew that's autistic. Great.
Oh, it's sure a good thing that I'm here to speak up on behalf of these kids.
Like, you aren't living this life every day. You're not a parent of a child with special needs. You don't get it. It's like so easy to seriously like say that you're a teacher.
Yeah, so being a teacher means that you probably work with many kids over the years with many special needs, which would make you a great advocate for kids with special needs. But you can't be an advocate for those of us who are advocates for kids with special needs. No, that's too hard.
No, I spent all day on the phone with the insurance company, Miss Mercy Monroe. She's so selfish that she had to like literally have a temper tantrum. And I didn't call them disease-riddled crotch fruit. You're just adding the disease-ridden part. I said crotch fruit, which is literally a joke. It's like a goblin. It's like calling a kid a goblin.
But it's not like calling a kid demonic.
It's a joke. Take your Karen ass and get out of here. Bye, Chelsea. You're psycho too. Goodbye, yuppers. You've got a cat profile. You look like a fake account. Autism is genetic. So generally if one child has autism, it's not uncommon to have multiple children that have autism. It's also not uncommon for a parent to have autism or for there to be autism in the family. My husband and I both have ADHD, and we learned from a neuropsychologist that there's been some studies and work that's been done lately to see the connection between ADHD and autism, because so many children that have autism also have ADHD, and whether or not ADHD is somehow within that spectrum or not.
Finally, I am finally autistic.
This medication is actually very expensive to make because it's extremely unstable. It's like one of the most expensive medications because of how unstable and how it's just not easy to make. It's not one of those drugs that's like marked up because they can mark it up. It's marked up because it's the chemicals and whatever they use to make it. It's hard to make.
It's made with Anoid's magic. I want pizza now.
I'd rather not say the medication that it is. You can't get it from Cost Plus drugs. This is not a medication that you can find on. It's just not. You can't. It's a specialty drug. Like you can't get it online. I'm not going to answer any more questions about what the medication is because I feel like you guys are just asking questions so that you'll tell me. I'll tell you what it is, and I don't want to tell you purposely.
Yeah, you're just going to have to find some other way to prove that I'm full of shit.
I wasn't trying for you guys to discuss it. I wasn't trying to discuss what the medication was. I simply said I couldn't get it approved. And then you all wanted to know what it was. And I said I don't want to tell you.
Well, now that you ruined my sad fishing, I guess I'm just going to have to. Okay, now it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank
Sean Coffrey, Pearls of Paragon Kate, Holly Benjamin, Mackenzie, Greenworm 79, Sheila Marie, Jess, Kathy Ann, Tiffany Hoff, Heather Parmalee, Tina P, Lola Flo, Jamie Couchard, Busy Bee, Silly Rabbit, One-Armed Wonder Woman, Heather McDonald, Nurse Linny, Dash X, Ash Tara, Nina, The Crazy Lady, Coffee 22 Crazy, Sky Vision, Lynn, Sassy Nas, Carol T, Sassy Elmo, Wicked T, Rizzo's Wife, Jill B, T King, Maps Cat, Lil Mousy Girl, Dirty Uncle Sal, Megan Broussard, Reagan, Flying Mom Laura, Mariana Santos, Karma Kid 101, Olivia Pruitt, Brianna H, Leslie Correa, Berber, Chronically B Queen B, Tennessee Vol Mom, Bo Roundtree, Verillion, Mo, Nana Hawk, Lola W, Autistic Shield Zombie, I'm Fucking Rakin, Straysky, Christina Elizabeth, Osval, TB, Cheryl, Totally Shaded, Sally Godfrey, Sue Elliott, Sunny D, Clairview, Kimberly Rowdy Mom, Atticus Finch, Jeanette Stevens, Jen Gerard, and Poodlerific.
Thank you very much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching.